interaction on Frank Banker, and today I have a very dear friend and a very successful leadership coach, Preetha Dubey, with me. She's the founder of Success Vitamin, sales and leadership coaching venture. She is a seasoned banker and has worked with many banks over the years before she started her own venture. Today, she is an official member of the Forbes Coaches Council. And amongst her many accolades, the recent one that I remember is the Best Sales Coach Award that she got at the World Coaching Congress. So very warm welcome to you, Preetha, and thank you for taking the time out joining me today on the Frank Banker Talk Show.
Thank you so much, Amit, for that overwhelming introduction.
These are very interesting times, challenging times for bankers. What I realize is the first step is once we start getting back to offices, in the normal sense, and the normal may be a new normal. But what is it that will change in the workplace now? How will the life be at the workplace for a banker?
This is very interesting that, you're talking about what is going to change. Good that we are using this phrase, the new normal, which then basically is constantly prepping us up that things are not going to go back to what it used to be. And we are now preparing ourselves to face something which now probably over a period of time going to be a new habit or a new way of working. I would like to highlight probably just 2 or 3 aspects which are like critical and which may affect us. One is the requirement for hygiene at the workplace. Now, going forward, there will always be an expectation of hygiene, whether it is from the employees' side, that is the employees are going to expect it from their organization to maintain a very safe and healthy environment for them to work.
Yes.
Similarly, the organization would expect from the employees and the employees from each other that each and every member, each and every employee is going to, again, be very, very careful and conscious about the hygiene aspects. And not only within the organization, this particular expectation or demand for hygiene is even going to be there with our outside world, that is with the customers as well. Okay.
Both internal and external, you would have to,
absolutely.
So
one aspect,
careful.
Yeah, one aspect definitely is going to be this demand for hygiene. Now, what changes because of that is like earlier, to probably go out for say lunch and dinners, team meetings huddled up in a small room, and it was very, very normal. Maybe these things may not continue to be so normal anymore. Even these water cooler moments that we used to have earlier, just walking up and sitting or standing very close to each other and talking about the boss, I think people have to be a little more careful about all. So these basic things would change.
At the operational level, I see that your ability to just walk into the operations department or credit risk department to just push for your file or push for your requirement maybe also constrained. Yeah. And there will be a sense of formality because these would have to be you have to prepare before you go and interact with them, schedule possibly.
Absolutely.
And, therefore, the way you communicate will also have some impact.
Another aspect that would probably change post COVID-19 would be the customers' buying habits. Customers have kind of moved their buying practices. So it has become more online now, more digital. You would also see nowadays, I'm sure, that there is very, very limited movement of cash from one hand to another hand. Or again, the reason is on the aspect of hygiene. Because you can't be sanitizing the cash, right? So again, a lot of such buying habits and purchasing habits are going to change. So the loyalties could also shift from a customer.
Very interesting point over here, Preetha, which is about how then do you communicate with the customer? Because methods of communication possibly are going to change,
Yeah,
right? I
absolutely.
don't know, maybe the language will change too. So you are the expert there. So what changes? What changes do you see in communication?
So you very rightly mentioned, Amit, that the method of communication is going to change, because as you said, that customers probably would expect the transactions to be more and more digital
Hmm.
or online, right? So therefore, even on the communication part, if we are looking at, we have to look at it from two perspectives. One is from the organization's perspective, how the bank is going to communicate. Another is when an individual is dealing with a customer, how that individual is expected to communicate. Now, from a bank's perspective, it is very clear. The communication, the bank will have to come up with more channels, open up more channels of communication, and not only depend on the frontliners to communicate, or the corporate communication team, or the marketing team to do the communication. More and more channels have to open up, and all of them have to be trained on not only the content of the communication, which now has to be, they have to be very, very careful about what kind of a content they are using in the communication, but also on the tone of the communication. Uh, Throughout now, at least till the time a vaccination is not in place and all of us are not off this fear that, okay, this virus is no
It's now
longer,
controlled, yeah.
yeah, is no longer a deadly thing, and it can be controlled. uh, all the communication that we are having, that the banks and the bankers are going to have with the external customers, will have the bottom tone of empathy. So when an individual is going and talking to a customer, the use of the words like I understand your concern or your fear, or I feel the pain, or I listen you, or I hear you, so these kind of words and the way it is expressed are going to be a lot more appreciated. The bank as well as the banker will have to now educate the customers more and more to use the digital services,
Hmm.
to start the use of mobile or net banking or all the other digital services, banking services that the banks are providing. This has to be there. And not only that, whether we are communicating individually through the banker or communicating through a corporate communication team or the marketing team, something which now will be expected from every mode of communication is a lot of transparency.
Hmm. Very true.
Because something now that would immediately get the customers to worry will be any kind of delayed or cloggy or cloudy communication. So we have been going through so much of unknown and uncertainty that the last thing that we would expect from a bank with whom we are dealing is a very, very cloudy communication.
True. Very true.
So these are certain aspects of communication that I believe a bank and a banker should keep in mind.
You're right. I think more so also on the way you are communicating. Your communication methods are going to be virtual, digital, right? And there is one very important caveat that we should keep in mind when we are dealing with such channels, is that everything that you say over there is recorded, right?
Yeah.
That's one part of it. Second part of it, the scheduling that you do or the meeting that you do through these channels are going to be crisper. Or you
Mm.
could walk into a customer's place and sit there for a while and talk about the economy, talk about the how's the business going, a typical opener for the banker, right? And then come to the discussion on the key points subsequently. But here, since you're arranging a meeting and through the digital channel, which they have their own limitation, you have to be very, very crisp, be very, very careful in what you say and how you say. And you are right in getting those words in. They sound very simple. I understand, I empathize, I can feel your pain, or I can identify with the problem that you're seeing, and I can help you solve this. These kind of This empathy has to come out through the digital, and the only way it will come out is when you say, articulate it with all your good intentions. An important point that I realized from there is, therefore, the RM has to upskill themselves, get used to using these channels with, in interaction with the customers.
Yes, I have during my training, all the sales training that I have conducted for many of these banks. Something that I had realized was the direct conversation style that has always been used by the bankers. It was very direct. So, okay, I want to open an account. What do you want? Okay, so please give me your KYC documents. So I'll need. Do you have a Aadhaar? Do you have a PAN card? Do you have a passport? And so it is so direct, this communication style. Now, from having such a direct communication, this has to now move to a very, very conversational communication. But there is a difference between these two styles. And that is when we will be able to attract or grab the attention of the customer. Because right now, we don't know whether we will be communicating how freely we will be communicating face to face, how often we will be communicating face to face. The new normal could also mean that a lot of our dealings with the customers may happen virtually. And therefore, the way we are communicating, because it is no longer so easy to gauge every body language movement or, every mannerism of the opposite person. So therefore, it's very important to be very alert while we are having this communication, and also to use words that will not only grab the customer's attention, but also hold that attention with us.
Also, you mentioned the usage of virtual channels to communicate. One point that clicks me here is opportunity to continuously engage for a long period of time also gets restricted. So when you are communicating, and let's say you scheduled a virtual meeting with a client, right? Would you be able to say, I will check and come back? Or you have to be prepared in advance, anticipating what are the requirements of the customer, and then provide a solution then and there. And that primarily means a relationship manager who's comfortable with using these channels, who understands the language, as you were saying, of these channels, and also well prepared for these conversations, right? It's no longer that I just came to meet you to ask how are you, right? So that changed. Fundamentally, the interaction quality is very, very different.
Very true, Amit. And you hit on a very right place here, when what we call as the rapport building step of our selling, for example. Now, earlier when we are face to face, it is so easy for us to build that rapport, because I can have that moment with our customer where I am sharing a cup of tea with the customer, and also talking about many things under the sun. But here in a digital or an online kind of a way, if we have to start selling online, and if that becomes a new normal, then we also have to learn the rapport building aspects of through online. But that is also something that we have to develop. Those old skills of building rapport may not anymore be applicable to the online rapport building expectation.
Correct. That leads me to another question, Pritha, and I'm using the opportunity to ask you as many as possible, so that our fellow bankers can get a deeper perspective in their sales strategies and their communication strategies. Is also the overall sales strategy from an organization's point of view. That also changes, right? Yeah. Not only the RM's own individual initiative and upskilling and preparation. So, what are the key points in your thoughts, in your view, which is going to change for the organization?
So from an organization's perspective, if I have to give a few recommendations, then first and foremost, I would request, because this is something that I have noticed having trained across many banks. One, I would very, very strongly urge the banks is to get a very strong and powerful CRM in place. it is very, very important, very, very critical, all the more critical now. And there are now such beautiful CRM products available in the market, which are not cumbersome at all. We also not only, I mean, we can't just advise the customers to come digital. We also have to now get into the habit of being digital. Now, a lot of time-saving tools has to be given to the salespeople. For example, if you're talking about, say, SME banking, okay. Now, imagine I picking up certain files and then processing the physical files to the backend team, and then the backend, those files are basically physically moving. Now, these are very time taking. So disbursement takes a lot of time. Everybody probably is trying to now get digital. So there could be a very, very tough competition that a banker will have to face. So these kind of digital strategies are first thing that a bank has to implement. And a second very, very important aspect now is the need for the relationship managers to transform into advisors.
Very true.
Because it is no longer that those days or those moments or times when all I have to do is probably just go and understand the balance sheet and the P&L and the cash flow of the customer. But the knowledge has to be expanded. And now I need to know about the entire value chain of the customer. And I also need to therefore know what are certain things or certain innovations that would help the customer to scale up their business. For example, there are these in-store technologies that shops can nowadays use. So we have to start suggesting these ideas that they can implement, like an inventory management tool that will help them manage their inventory and reduce wastage. Similarly, getting into a supply chain platform. There are a lot of such technology that as a relationship manager, we can now start advising, which will eventually help in building a lot of trust with us. Because understand now, as I said earlier also, customers' loyalty may change because of the change in the customer's buying habit. Yeah. So it is very important right now to focus on retaining the customers. And in order to retain, just being transactional is not going to
very true. It is no longer only about that I will give a loan and I will open an account and I will facilitate a transaction. It is also, as I said, earlier we were discussing, saying that the conversations are going to change qualitatively. And if in those conversations you continue to be very transactional in those conversations, you're not able to add value, then your ability to build rapport gets restricted. So you have to be fully prepared. You have to be aware. You have to focus on your own learning, understanding customers' pain points, and providing solutions. So Pritha, very, very interesting thoughts. Very interesting thoughts coming out from
you. Indeed. Thank you so much. And this was really, really very, very interesting to look at the entire banking perspective from a post-COVID-19 lens. And what I would request all the viewers is, yes, things are going to change. So wisdom says that start preparing for the new normal. So prepare yourself in advance and stay safe.
Thank you, Pritha. Thank you for those words of wisdom, and I'll catch you soon. Thanks.